Hello, good evening, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on today. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? So make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those great things, okay? You guys, today I wanted to talk about Hernandez Govan. Okay, I was gonna do a live on this, but I have a test tonight. Okay, y'all know I have been boggled down with schoolwork for the summer because me being true to my hard-headed self. Okay, I would go and take 3 classes. Okay, I'm fussing at myself now. Okay, I rejected when everybody else fussed at me, but now I'm fussing at myself because I'm always taking on challenges out of just because, okay, just being hard headed when I know that I should not have done it. Okay, so I'm fussing at this myself because I'm the one that's having to do all of this work and stay on top of everything. So what I'm doing is I want to do a video, okay? Y'all, you know Hernandez Govan has been in the news since around 2022 when he was arrested for uh, allegedly plotting to take out young Dolph and all of that. His name has been mentioned as being a part of it. He went to trial. Of course, he was acquitted. He was going to take a plea deal, okay? But he decided that young Dolph family rejected it, and he went to trial, and he got lucky, okay? He got lucky. Ever since then, he has been going on different podcasts. He's been making his rounds. And just from what I can see, just from him, you know, I think in the beginning when he first started doing podcasts, he wanted to try and speak um, maybe almost good things about young Dolph. He would throw a little salt in there. I don't like his music or little stuff like that. He ain't no gangster. Or he started trying to, and then it changed. Okay, I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know if um who started talking to him or whatever, but I don't think it took much because I don't really think he cared for young Dolph to begin with. If you ask me, just listening to him, I think he had more of a hate for him as Yo Gotti and them did. Okay, just from listening to him, I think he tried to put a muzzle on it in the beginning, and then I think it was just hard for him to keep a muzzle on it. And then he started promoting Yo Gotti. So I don't know if he was mad at Yo Gotti's cousin Brandon Mims. So I guess Brandon must have came through because Govan is emotional. When he's got issues with you, he constantly goes on. He ain't mentioned Brandon no more. So I guess Brandon being Yo Gotti's top man working next to him, he kind of works in between. I guess he's one of those ones that's the in between person. So I guess they got him what he needed, and he's been okay. He ain't had to mention Brandon Mims no more, although Brandon Mims probably won't go free, okay? Because I've heard Brandon Mims' name come up in the halls of the courts and the police department many times, okay? So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But one thing for sure, Govan ain't mentioned him no more. So Brandon Mims must have came through, okay, on whatever it was that had him saying that when he seen him, it was up. Okay, so I guess it ain't up no more. Brandon had his folks to come on through with whatever that was, but from my understanding, Brandon had his fingers all, just according to what I heard. Okay, and it wasn't on the street either. It was in the halls of where it matters at. He had his fingers all in this. Okay, some kind of way. Now, um, uh, aiding and abetting after the fact, but I'm sure he was involved before the fact too. Okay. Now, but Govan has been arrested. Okay. Govan has been arrested, and it has nothing to do with the Young Dolph case. Okay. They're saying something about the news media is saying something about it had something to do with, I guess, a domestic violence situation of a young lady that maybe he was dating or something like that. And she claims it is alleged that she was stalking him. We're gonna read what if the affidavit is up, but we definitely want to pull up the video, okay? Child, that ain't him. That ain't him. Lord Jesus, I'm getting rid of StreamYard. Okay, I keep saying it, but I'm gonna do it. Let's see here, y'all. The boys is out. The boys be out. The boys outside. The boys is outside. The paperwork on my desk lets me know that the boys is outside. But let's watch this, y'all.
Hernandez Govan was arrested today for a state warrant. If that name sounds familiar to you, he is the man acquitted in the case of young Dolph's murder. Govan was arrested today, though, on new charges, according to Memphis police. Action News 5's Imani Williams joining us live now.
Wednesday, the warrant was issued on will and American Way. Now, nearly a year ago, Govan faced a jury during his own trial on first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder charges related to young Dolph's death. He was ultimately acquitted.
So, Imani, you mentioned the trial, and of course, we know that you covered it extensively. What did he say when he was found not guilty?
I mean, he said he was happy to be free and that he planned on leaving Memphis, but we see now he is still here. So he was just one person the investigators looked into during the investigation into Dolph's murder. So I sat down with a true crime podcaster who takes me behind the scenes of that investigation. You can watch that here later in the show. Live in studio, Imani Williams.
Okay, you guys. Now he was found at Get Well and American Way. That's out there in East Memphis. I figured he was still in Memphis because he was on live the other morning, and he was somewhere in Memphis because he kind of slipped up and said it. A young lady, because the young lady said she was at the casino, and he said that he was started to go over to across the bridge to West Memphis, Arkansas, to the casino, which is about 5 minutes away. So I figured he was in Memphis. So, but of course, his family and his kids are here. So let's look at the paperwork, okay? Let's look at the paperwork. Let me make sure I knew it was going to do that. Okay, we're just going to sign on back in, y'all. I knew it was going to do that. Just ain't shit. Let's see here. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as I pull this stuff back up, okay? It took me a while to get back here. Okay. So let me pull it up. I'm assuming that he has already bonded himself out of jail, okay? Yeah, I am assuming that. Okay. So it shows the state warrant. He has a state warrant, and both of them are misdemeanors, okay? Both of them are misdemeanors, but they are high misdemeanors. They are high misdemeanors. Let's see. Let's see here, you guys. I don't know why when I go into another screen, it messes up. Okay, so it is showing harassment and stalking. And it looks like I don't want to go up too far because I don't want to. Okay, I don't think it's showing his address or anything like that. Because y'all know I ain't trying to get nobody hurt. It did. Okay, so I don't like showing their information and stuff like that. Um, let's look a little further. Let's see. Um, okay, so that was disposed of. So it's not showing the affidavit at this point. Okay, let me look. Um, one other place. Okay, the affidavit is not showing up in this system. Okay, so let me X out of that. Let me look. Let me look at something. Hold on. Give me just a moment. Let me see if he's still in jail. I'm sure. Oh yeah, he's still up in there. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Y'all, he's still up in there. Let me see how much that bond is, child. He probably got the way to go to jail. Okay, so he's got to go to court. They haven't given him one, so he's got to go to court. He just went up in there today. He down there in lower level M, child. He down there in the Empire, child. Um, yeah. Mm. Look at him. Lord have mercy. Whoever that young lady is, I really because I'm gonna tell y'all something. It just gets stuck all of the time. It gets stuck, and it is definitely this computer. Okay. Um. So he's down there in the Empire. Okay, y'all. This computer gets stuck all the time. There's something going on with this computer. I don't know what it is, but it is definitely something. So he's down there in the Empire, okay. Whoever y'all saw his picture, he looked like he mad, okay. He looked like he looked when Terrence Gangster Williams had mentioned me, okay, on his show. His mouth stuck out, or he did a face like I want to kill that bee, and that's kind of how he looking on that picture. So, I hope that that young lady is very, very careful, okay. I don't know who it is. All right. I don't know if it's the young lady because I told you all that a young lady had reached out to me when this Dolph thing was going on. He was looking for a private investigator child. And she was very nice. She was very nice, very well spoken. I don't know if it's her. Now uh yeah, now there I guess I forget when they say the charges was filed maybe a couple weeks or so ago, and so maybe that's the issue or whatever. So listen, y'all, I don't know what to say about Govan, okay. Other than it just don't it just it don't I don't know what to say. Okay, I don't know what to say. Me personally, just with this situation, I would have to look at the affidavit, and I'm sure that um it's somewhere. It'll be showing for the public probably really soon, but they still got him down there, and he just went today. They haven't given him a bond. He may have to go before a magistrate. or they may make him wait and go to court tomorrow, which means he might be back in the same person's courtroom that he was in for his trial on tomorrow to see what the bond is going to be. Now, he has two high misdemeanors. Class A misdemeanor is the highest class of misdemeanors, okay? And so he's got two of them. It's a step from a felony D. But hell, I've seen people get more time with misdemeanor A's than felony D's, okay? So that right there is interesting within itself. But I hope Govan leave the young lady alone. Okay, just leave her alone. I'm sure he's gonna say that it was not that or something like that. I'm sure everybody had to have had some type of proof. Okay, she must have had some messages from him or something like that, some phone calls. There was some type of proof in order for them to put out a warrant for him and to go and get him. And it's just something because people talk about Govan. I know he do his interviews or whatever. I just kind of sit back and look. I'm not so sure that Govan is out of the red. Okay, I know that he was found not guilty on young Dolph case. Okay, I've always felt like that he was involved. Okay, but I don't know if Govan is out of the red, because you have people out there that's mad at Govan. All right, you have folks that's mad, and hey, straight dropping them. I think he needs to be worried. I think he needs to be worried about them young dudes that was around him that may feel like he sent them out and misled them, and knows exactly where all of the skeletons are. I think, if nothing else, Cornelius and Straight Drop are determined to get their get back as it relates to him, and probably some others too. So, all of this is interesting. With this situation with Govan, me personally, I feel like if Govan he got off, if he was gonna be out doing his podcast, then I really feel like, especially if he knows that he was involved in this young Dolph situation, he should have stayed away from trying to, some people tell their stories, but this is definitely still a delicate situation. You try to soil basically the victim, and that is young Dolph. And he's basically shown, because I've watched him, I think it's hard for him to hide disdain as it relates to young Dolph. Now, I was looking at just a snippet of him on the video that he did with Ratchet. I have not seen all of it, but he did an interview with Ratchet, and he says the day that young Dolph was killed, he was on Crump. Okay, now he said he was on his way to his brother's or his friend's car lot, and it's funny because um, um, Dolph Unsolved, is it Justice for Dolph? Okay, spoke about that. Justice for Dolph spoke about that, and about that imports is on EH Crump. Okay, and EH Crump is in South Memphis, and EH Crump takes you straight. You go down EH Crump, it takes you straight to through Castelia, and it'll take you around that curve on up to, I believe, you turn at the light, and you're right there at Airways. Okay, you turn at the light. EH Crump is, yeah. You go down, you go on around, and you make a left at the light. It takes you on Airways. You're right there in Orange Mound, so it takes you through Castelia, there, around the Castelia Heights area. It's something. It's right there in South Memphis. Like, he was in the area when young Doc was killed. He says he's on EH Crump, and he was about 4 minutes away. Okay, so I mean that's something. I guess it means nothing, but I guess it means nothing, but that's something, because I always wondered, and I'm not saying that it was him, who it was. And it's funny because I did hear Wu say they didn't talk about half of the stuff, and I know that they didn't, because there was a call. I guess they saving it for the federal part. Straight Drop made a phone call, and I guess it was according to the witnesses. Drop told them whoever it was that he called, or the police said it. Um, they had laid eyes on Dolph, and they said whoever he called it said, make sure he don't come out that shop. Okay, and Cornelius jumped out on him. All right, so that's interesting within itself. So I think when people say, and I'm not saying that it was Govan, but it was definitely somebody. Okay, so I think it's some reckoning as it relates to a whole lot of loose ends as it relates to that. I think they just have a dedication on getting some of these people who helped to put together the murder of this young man. Okay, and so hey, I guess the good thing is, when people think they've gotten away with stuff, pride comes before a fall. And I'm not, at this point, I'm just talking about anybody in general, right? Because Govan had his trial and he was found not guilty, right? In a state trial. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I've been noticing since I've been working for the feds. You would think that, and it kind of blew my mind. You think there are no double jeopardy laws. What I've seen is how the feds are able to charge people, and you go, well, you can't be, they can't do anything because you can't do the double jeopardy. They're able to charge people up under other statutes. That's how they're able. So you go, I thought that aren't those double jeopardy laws apply to that? But actually, what it is they're saying, well, it's up under another stature. Okay, so that's how they're able to kind of get away with doing that. So, anyways, Govan is still locked up. So, either he has does not have a bond. It looks like at this point he may have to go before a magistrate. So he may get out tonight, or he may have to wait and go to court tomorrow for a judge to give him a bond. But either way it go, all of this shit is interesting. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I would like for you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Y'all hit the Cash App up. I ain't been on here. Or hit the super thanks because my numbers are down real low. Y'all hit the super thanks. Run my check up just a little bit because, child, it's almost nothing. All right. Talk to you all later.